So what I'm going to be using today is the chalk finish. It's called Pureco. It's an Australian-based company, and I am now stocking Pureco. We're going to use a colour called Carbon, which is a jet black. Might look like it's got a blue hue. Never trust the side of a see-through bottle, because sometimes the tint can get stuck to the sides of your plastic, and your goodness always falls to the bottom. So make sure you tip them upside down and give your paint a good shake. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use that. We're also going to use some rose gold metallic, which also needs to be shaken because you can see the tint that's stuck to the side, yeah? So we're going to use some rose gold. We're going to use copper. We've got our Patina spray. This was another Australian brand, and our metal dusting powder. It's a kind of two-step process. So the first up thing we're going to do is we're going to paint these black. I'm just going to use these little Klingon brushes. We just spoke about Klingon brushes in our last live. So I'm using a round 12, and I think it's a round 14. They're great for doing little small decor projects. So I've got my little guys on hand. These are my little artisty kind of ones, and I've got a bunch of artist brushes. So let's begin. Just going to paint over this guy with no rhyme or reason. We're just going to get into it. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to pounce. I don't mind a bit of texture in these. I do like the powder to grab onto something. So, you know, face I'll kind of probably keep just smooth. This does self-level. It's quite an amazing paint. So let's do this other one. Just pounce it in, making sure I get into all that little detail. And we're just using black chalk paint. All right, we've laid that down. So we'll leave those two babies to dry. They're looking a bit spectacular. All right, we're good. So we've got our lovely rich copper. Just going to give it a stir because I didn't before. I'm just going to use the tail end of what's in this, but it's gorgeous. Yeah? All right. So when you think about the rain and it falls, you want those raised areas, right? So we're just going to pounce with our copper, and I'll kind of miss the areas that you'd probably run down here somewhere, wouldn't it? I'm just going to pounce in there. It's a bit of a step process, so I'm just going to pounce into the areas where I think the rain would kind of run down off a piece, you know, because that's what kind of ages first is those bits. And you're really not going to see much of the copper. You might have some flecks or some highlights just popping through there. So we're just going to apply our little highlights. We're going to give the patina something to stick to. Just remember, this is the glue for our patina. That's all it is. You might see flecks of it after. It's just dusting powder. So I can just kind of sprinkle it over. I could use a brush and dab it on, but it's just going to fall onto this copper. Away we go. There's no rhyme or reason to how I'm going to do this. This is just how you do it. It's wherever it lands. And that's the beauty of it. So what happens is the next stage, which we'll get to in a minute, will be where I add the patina spray. So just remember, this is the first step. So we've got our activation spray, yeah? And this is just going to land on there and do its magic. It usually takes about 20 minutes. Get it on the top and kind of let it just naturally dribble down. And all I need to do is just wet that powder. And that will start to do its magic. I need a little bit more sprinkle, but we'll just see how we go, whether we think we need to add or take away. So we'll leave this one aside. All right, let's do a different colour for our metallic. Let's go rose gold for this one. So you can kind of see where it would go even, which is really cool. And when you see these statues in Europe, it's just what it is. They go really green, and it's just because they oxidize. And the beauty about it is the rose gold's holding really well. Look at that. Now this is going to look authentic. Can you see the one in the background starting to change? Is that cool? So I'm just lightly tapping my jar. It's a bit like a salt and pepper shaker. So you can see it's just kind of landed where it's landed. Got our spray, our activator, doing the same thing, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I just wet up the powder basically with the activator. You have to use this, it won't just work with vinegar, you've got to activate it. Alright, let's do our other one. Let's leave that baby to do its magic, and that one is quite wet. Let's do the same thing to this one. So this is our rose gold if you've just joined us. The best thing about, you can see all the metallic sticks to the bottom. So with your metallics, turn your jars upside down, give them a bang, loosen up that metallic on the bottom. Your metallics always look like they're never stirred because they're a translucent type paint and they always get that funny little swirl through it. Now you can see the oxidation just starting to happen. If you can see that in the background, can you see the colours starting to change? See in there? It is a water-based metallic, this one. It's given us some lovely little swirls happening now. And this is exactly how it would be overseas when you see those big patina statues. They're just patchy and raw and organic. I do love it. I don't want this in my eyes, so that's hence the safety glasses. So we've got our powder on. We'll let the powder fall wherever it fell. Got our activator spray, and we're just going to spray straight onto our piece. And when these are done, I'll seal them in a clear coat, and that will, 1, lock it in, and 2, stop any more activation process. Liberal amount. Get more on the back of him too, down the bottom where I kind of missed earlier. I do like it how it sits kind of there, and then it kind of runs down the piece. Imagine like it's raining. It needs to be just attacked a bit more. We're mainly hitting on the raised areas, I suppose. So if you enjoyed that process, it's kind of cool, right? It's kind of cool. And it has to be the spray. It can't be water at this stage. This is the stage that you have to use your activation. These guys are starting to change. There we go, people. Are we happy? So what I'll do when these are done, I'll post some photos. These will need a clear coat, which I will come back and do. These are dried now. My clear coat has been put on. I've used our Pure Coat clear coat, which has given a lovely little shine. And that's the kind of look that's going to happen to these guys behind us. So you can kind of see the different phases and where we're up to. This one's got a bit more transitioning to do before it gets to this nice dark rich green. So we're on the way. It's probably only got about 10 minutes to go and we'll have this colour, but I kind of let these sit overnight, and overnight I come back and went, whoa, it's certainly changed. So you can see it all happening before your eyes. See how this one's got a lot more work yet? It's got a lot more work to do before it gets to this stage. It's got yellow hue still in it, as opposed to how it turns out. So it really changes so much. They're all different. All right, I love yous and leave you. It's a big love, and it's a big peace out. And I will catch you next live, whenever. It's all impromptu this week, but exciting times ahead. All right, ciao guys.